Hi guys. So this is my second real video. I've mostly been doing shorts and I don't really have a script for this and I'm not exactly sure how it's gonna go. But here's my review for Opvs Eponymous by Ghost. So you see a lot of bands doing, I guess, 80s style thrash metal and new wave of British heavy metal and stuff like that. Maybe even, early doom, kind of like Candlemass. And speed metal, whatever, power metal. But I don't think there's like a band, aside from maybe Witch Hazel, that in the recent past has really done proto metal in a way that is still interesting and really cool and really thoughtful, I guess is the word for it. To me, with Ghost, it's not just like Black Sabbath. There's like a lot of like Black Sabbath, almost kind of like a little Merciful Fate kind of style stuff on this album. It's more like almost a bit Deep Purple and maybe not Zeppelin, but certainly I think a little Blue Oyster Cult, specifically in the way they use these like keyboard organs and stuff like that. Like it's probably the least objectionable use of jazz organs in metal music. There's a lot of stuff that almost specifically, I know there's at least one song where they have 2+ layers of keyboards that almost feels like kind of John Lord composition adjacent. You know who that is, the keyboardist of Deep Purple. And to me, that's really interesting just because, as I said, there's not really a lot of, metal that sounds like that. And in a lot of ways, I don't even think the later Ghost albums really sound like that. Like, they go a lot more pop, which in general I think is a good thing, and the songs get catchier and, bouncier and whatnot. But, yeah, and also a little heavier on Meliora and proggier and less focused and a lot worse on, what's it called? Infestissumam. This just sounds, I think Tobias Ford pointed out that it's supposed to be deliberately, like, very basic and simple. And I think they do that, and it's just a really good meat and potatoes songwriting. It's just great songs. Like, that's what it is. Great songs, great riffs, great harmonies, really kind of weird, interesting chord progressions. And I don't know. The riffs are definitely very Sabbath inspired. I don't know if I've already said that, but you've got stuff like Death Knell, dun 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 dun, whatever. That to me feels very much like something Sabbath or a band emulating Sabbath could have written in the 70s or early 80s. A lot of bass that sounds a lot like something Geezer Butler would write too, and I think that, is a facet of Sabbath that some people understand, but certainly not everybody, and I really appreciate that. There's just some really, really cool stuff on this album. It's definitely more of a nostalgia album and like a classic metal worship style record than something that's advancing music, you know. But also, I think it's maybe executed better than a lot of stuff from that era. Like, I think it's better than every album Blue Oyster Cult did. I think it's on par with pretty much all the Deep Purple stuff. Some Led Zeppelin, I think, is a good bit worse than this album, too. It's just a lot of, you know, it feels like they could have actually been on tour with these bands. It doesn't feel like they're just emulating this style of music. It feels like I could imagine like them touring with Black Sabbath and Van Halen and like still putting up hell of a show, and it would have been great. I don't know, to me that's just really interesting, and that's really how I feel about this album. And I think it's great, and I love Ghost in general. I want to hear what you guys think about Ghost and think about this album. And I'm sorry that I'm not as professional as I could be in the future right now. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Opvs Eponymous. Hope you enjoyed the video.